Hello my sweet bestie angels, welcome back. I thought it would be fun to do a bit of an ultimate book video today. I've done a few of these before. I think they are so fun. I love watching other creators do them. I love filming them. Like, they are just like the best of the best. They're like a vlog style but like filled with bookish things. It's like my two favorite things in one. And I have a few different things that I thought we could do together. Like, I have to update my book journal. There's some new releases that I kind of want to pick up, so maybe we'll go book shopping, some reading of course, and some other little things as well. And I thought, what better way to start off this video than by choosing a new read together. I finished a book yesterday, so it's time to choose a new one, and I don't really know like what I'm in the mood for. I definitely want to read something from my physical TBR, so we have all of our options here. I feel like ideally I should pick something on my monthly TBR, but there are a few other books that I have my eye on that aren't on my monthly TBR, so let's pick out maybe a few that could be in the running and then we'll go from there. I feel like Promise Me Sunshine has been calling my name. I've been meaning to pick this up for so long, but I just have not done it yet. I still really need to get to Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I feel like I've been talking about this book since it came out and I still haven't read it yet. I think everyone's mixed opinions has really gotten to me just because she's one of my favorite authors and I'm so scared that I'm not gonna love it. And I feel like when you have like such high expectations, it's so scary to go into a book, especially after seeing a lot of negative reviews. I've seen positive reviews too, but I've seen a lot of people who are just kind of like somewhere in the middle, so it's kind of put me off. But I think both of these are actually quite like heavy romances. Like, they have a lot of depth to them, because I think this one's a lot about grief, and I know in this one we're dealing with a loved one who has dementia, and so I think that will be really difficult to read about. And as for a third option, what am I in the mood for? Like, these both sound really good, or honestly The Wedding People has been kind of calling my name over the past like week or so. I'm very intrigued by this. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, I guess, but I'm very intrigued. So I think these are my three options that I'm choosing between. Should I actually choose, or should I like do a random number generator or something? Maybe we'll use Wheel of Names and see what it says. Here's what our wheel is looking like. I just put the first few words of each title, not the whole thing. Let's see what we get. Say You'll. We're reading Say You'll. No, we're reading Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I'm really excited, but so nervous. I'm gonna just try and go in without having any sort of expectations. If I love it, I love it, and if I don't, that's so okay. She'll still be one of my favorite authors regardless, because she has so many 5-star reads for me, but until this point, in my opinion, her books have just been getting better and better. Literally every book she's written. I did not like The Friend Zone. I gave it 2 stars when I read it like years ago. I wonder if I'd feel the same if I read it now, but yeah, did not love that. The Happy Ever After playlist, 4 stars, really liked that. Life's Too Short, loved it, 5 stars. That was the first book I actually ever read from her back in like 2021. Then Part of Your World was my first 5-star read from her, loved it. Yours Truly, again, 5 stars, incredible. Like, her writing, her storytelling, her characters just got even better. And then Just for the Summer, incredible, 5 stars. So I think just going into an author's book where you've just rated so many of their books 5 stars, like, it's hard not to have really high expectations, but we'll see. We will see. I've also heard a lot of people say it's really sad, and that has kind of put me off as well, because I'm like, I don't want it to be like too sad, but I don't know if it's really dumb for me to say that, because I know it's going to be sad. Like, I know it's going to be sad. I think I've cried in probably most of Abby Jimenez's books, because she just like knows how to write depth, you know? Anyway, let me choose a bookmark that I want to use today. I want to match it to the colors on the cover. Here's my 3 options that I have. I actually haven't used this one before. This one is from Mia Jade. It says handmade by Mia Jade in Broome, Western Australia, which is absolutely amazing. This is beautiful, and I mean, it's not like perfect coloring, but like the fact that this kind of is like a sunset and this is a sunset over the water, like, that's kind of perfect. The second option I have, I feel like the colors match really well. This was made by a beautiful bestie. It hasn't got her name on it, so I don't remember, which makes me so sad, but she put all of my favorite books on it. It says Rachel's Book Club. It's so sweet. That's another great option. And then this really cute one as well. It says Go Away, I'm Reading, and it's in this like pink and blue, and again just matches the colors so well, and it has a beautiful beaded strap. I don't know which one to pick actually. This is really hard. I think I'm gonna go with this one because I haven't used it before and because it literally has the sun setting over the water, and that's perfect. I think what I want to do is actually head to a cafe and order a coffee and maybe a donut and start this book. And while we're out, we may also do some other things, but stay tuned. I just made it to my favorite cafe, but I thought I would mention I love the idea of reading at a coffee shop, like going and getting a coffee and like maybe a little sweetie treaty and sitting and reading my book. However, I am a much better reader at home where there is silence. I read best in silence / no like voices happening around me. I can do music or like brown noise or just like random like birds or whatever, but in terms of like being around other people, I really struggle to read because all my brain wants to do is focus on the people around me and what they're saying, and like I don't even like want to listen to their conversations, but I just find myself like drifting off, like, oh, look at that person, or look at that cute little kid, or that cute little dog, or what's that person talking about. It's just what happens for me, unfortunately. So I find it best if I bring my noise cancelling headphones and I put on, you know, just like something that I want to listen to. Most of the time, I think 99% of the time, honestly, it's probably classical music. I love listening to classical music when I read. I have a specific playlist. It's not one that I made. It's just like one that I found, and I literally love it. I think it's so atmospheric. It keeps me engaged. I like it more than listening to brown noise or something like that. Like I just love it. So I just thought I'd mention that because if you're the same, like if you struggle to concentrate, and if I'm like at home and maybe there's a lot of noisy things, or like I feel like I'm getting distracted and I want to just like lock in, whether it's like lock into working, like sitting at my computer doing something, whether it's like I need to concentrate on a task but I keep getting distracted, whether it's reading, whatever it is, noise cancelling headphones, classical music, sometimes brown noise. But that's what I will be doing once I get into this cafe, because unfortunately I'm an easily distracted girly. While I was sitting there, I ended up getting up to page 68, chapter 9, and I feel like I can't really like talk on it yet because I feel like I've just gotten to a very, what would the word be? Monumental, imperative. I'm looking for a different word and I can't think of it right now, but I've just gotten to the point in the story where I think things are about to change. What's that word? Hopefully editing me is like able to find it, but so far I'm really liking it. I do now remember something that people complained about, and I feel like I can like see why people are complaining about it, but the writing is so good. I just love how Abby Jimenez writes stories. I think she just is one of my favorite writers, but also the characters are so fun. Like they're so witty and the banter between them is so good, at least so far. But yeah, I do think the story is about to take a turn, so again, I don't really feel like I am at a point where I can really say my full thoughts yet, because I feel like this is the point where that may change, but so far I really like it. I feel like it's gonna get sad though. Moving on, the next stage in our ultimate book video journey is to go book shopping. I'm just gonna go visit a couple bookstores and just see what they have, see what new releases have come out. I know there's so many good ones, but I just want to see if anything speaks to me today. There are a few. Oh my gosh, that lady just pulled up next to me and I got so, like, my heart actually stopped. She's just parallel parking, guys. It's literally fine. It's not that deep. But the way she, like, stopped right next to my car, like, her window was right next to mine. Anyway, I'm gonna go see if there are any that stand out to me. The ones that I have on my mind are My Friends by Frederick Buckman, but I don't know if that's out in Australia yet. I have a feeling it might not be. One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I think those are the main ones on my mind right now, but we will go and have a look. Maybe I'll end up with something that's not a new release. We'll see, but we'll see if anything speaks to me. I'm obviously home now, I did end up picking up a couple of books. I got two. Neither of them are new releases, which is kind of funny. Honestly, I didn't see any of the new releases that I was looking for. I didn't see Frederick Bachman's new book and I didn't see Carly Fortune's new book. Anyway, I just had the best time walking around. I went to two different bookstores and the second one that I went into was just a QBD, but there was barely anyone there. So I was just walking around for so long because it was just so peaceful. Like for a huge chunk, I think I may have been the only customer. Maybe there was someone else in a different section. I just didn't see them or something. But for most of the time I was in that store, it felt like I was the only person. So I could kind of just, I don't know. It just felt very peaceful. I wasn't in anyone's way. No one was in my way. I could like spend as much time looking at different spots as I wanted to without kind of like maneuvering around people, because I don't know about you guys and your bookstores, but I feel like those aisles are not super big. So if someone else is trying to like get past you or like look at something close to you, it can feel a bit crowded. But yeah, I just had the most peaceful time and I just walked around for so long and like read like the start of some of the first chapters of different books. Guys, I kind of want to read I Who Have Not Known Men. I think that's what it's called. I'm so intrigued by it. It is an older book. And I don't know if it's like a modern classic or what it's considered now, but the edition that I was looking at said something about being a modern classic. But I honestly thought it was like a newer book based on like the discourse I had heard around it, because I've seen quite a few people talking about it recently. It sounds fascinating. I need to look more into it. I'm not sure if it's like something I'd be into or not, but it just the premise of it is so interesting to me. Apparently, I think it's like I don't know if it's post-apocalyptic, but it's about 40 women who were imprisoned in like a basement or something. And then they get out of that like prison. But it sounds really interesting. If you've read it, let me know if you think it could be something I would enjoy. I know it's very different from what I usually read, and I was like scared to commit because I was like, is it like too different? Or is it like different enough that it will still be really interesting? I would love to hear your thoughts if you've read it. If you think I would hate it, then please let me know. Anyway, the books I picked up are very different from that. The first one that I picked up is one that I've been meaning to get. Actually, both of these are ones that I've been meaning to get for a really long time. But the first one I got is Weapon by Lynette Noni. I have been meaning to finish this duology for the longest time. I read the first one, I want to say in 2023. Maybe it was last year, but I feel like it might have been the year before. I could be wrong though. Either way, I read it quite a while ago and I've been meaning to finish the duology ever since, and I just haven't. And it feels like so long since I read the first book, and I feel like the longer I leave it, the less I want to pick this book up, even though I really enjoyed the first book. I think I gave it like 4 stars. The first book is kind of similar vibes to Shatter Me. I think it's like a dystopian world. You're following a girl. I think no one's talking, and she doesn't really understand what's going on. She's kind of like locked away, and it takes her ages to kind of figure out what's going on. I need to like remind myself what happened in the first book, like either like reread it or go into a recap. Either way, I'm trying to finish series I'm in the middle of, and this one is such an easy one to finish because it's only 2 books. So I'm gonna try and read this sometime soon, but I'm very intrigued. Like I really liked the first one, so I want to keep going. And then I did get a book that again I've had my eye on for a really long time, and I was like, do I really need to start another series? Like I'm trying to finish series, not start new ones. But this is one of those books that I've almost bought like maybe 4 times and just never have, so I finally decided to get it. This is A Winter's Promise by Christelle DeBoss. It's from the YA section. I think it's a fantasy book. A mix of misfit and misunderstood genius, Ophelia possesses 2 special gifts: the ability to read the pasts of objects and to travel through mirrors. Her peaceful existence on the Ark of Anima is interrupted when she is promised in marriage to Thorn, a member of a powerful clan from a distant ark, the cold and icy pole. Ophelia must follow her fiancé to the floating city of Città Celeste, where nobody can be trusted, and it goes on. But it just sounds really interesting, and there are a few creators specifically on TikTok that I follow who have really enjoyed this series, and it piqued my interest. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to this, but I would love to get to it sometime soon. But yeah, those are the books that I ended up picking up in my little book shopping trip. Time to update our reading journal. I think we have a few things to update in here. I haven't filled in any of the books that I've read this month. Oh, I haven't filled in more than that. Well, this will be fun. We have quite a bit to update. I always love filling this in because I feel like it's so satisfying to watch, so hopefully you guys agree and hopefully you enjoy watching the updates. We are going on a little bookish adventure this morning. I've been wanting to do this for so long and I've just never made it a priority, but we're doing it this morning. I have a bag full of books that I have decided to unhaul and donate, and we are going to drive around this morning and put them in little free libraries. I'm so excited. I literally just googled little free libraries Brisbane and there are hundreds. It comes up with a map and you can just kind of like search around and find all of these different ones, and it gives you addresses for all of them, shows you a photo of what they look like. I decided to just like pick an area and go to hopefully like 5 or 6 in that general area. I'm not planning to take any books home unless I see something like really exciting. I'm hoping I'm just gonna be like putting books in, but I thought it'd be fun to bring you guys along with me. So let's go visit some little free libraries. Good news, I made it to the first little free library. Bad news, it looks very full. I might be able to fit like 1 or 2 books in here, but we'll see how we go. Just got to spot number 2. This one also looks very full, which I guess is a good thing, but again, don't know how many I'll be able to put in this one, but that's okay. Just got to spot number 3. This one looks so cute. I love seeing how everyone has created them, because I think what people do is just like build these little things themselves, and then I guess it gets like registered as a little free library. Like they must have to apply to get it like recognized by this specific like organization, I guess. But people are making them from all sorts of things, and when you look it up online and you're like looking at different ones that you can go to, some of them have a little description, and sometimes in the description they say how they made it or why they made it. Some of them are dedicated to specific loved ones. I saw one that said that she asked for a little free library for her birthday from her family, and so like her husband made it and her kids painted it. It's just so cute, like reading about how everyone just came to be with their little free library. So again, I think this one's pretty full, so we'll drop a few books and move on, but I'm having so much fun. I do feel a little bit like I'm trespassing, which is obviously not the case, but I just am like parking outside of random people's houses, and I think both times it looks like the person is home, and I guess this is what it's here for. Like they want people to come, bring books, take books, whatever, but I feel like I'm just stepping into someone's yard. What do we want to drop off here? Maybe we'll do The Sun Is Also a Star, Collide, and Rush. We'll see if we can fit these 3. Maybe one more. We'll do The Boyfriend Candidate. This is a YA book that I read, loved, but I just like don't really see myself reading it again, or if I want to, I can get it from my library, because I know my library has this one. And I think all of these might have just been a little bit too spicy for me. So hopefully someone else can enjoy them and they'll go to a very happy, loved home. We're up to spot number 4 now. I think we're gonna bring in The Front Runner by Elsie Silver. I ended up DNFing this series, but I also have 2 of these. I accidentally got sent 2 from the publisher, so we have another one to donate somewhere as well. I think I'm also going to donate one of these. This is a little recipe book, I think. Again, I got sent 2 of these by accident. And then maybe we'll also do Radio Silence by Alice Oseman if we can get it to fit in there. I read this, I really enjoyed it, but I just don't see myself reading it again. Like I don't really have any attachment to it, and I think someone else could enjoy it more than me. So let's see if we can fit these 3 in this little one. Spot number 5. This one has a gnome outside, so this one might be my favorite. We might bring in Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead, the other copy of The Front Runner, and we'll see. I don't know how full this one is. I also do have the first 2 books in The Summer I Turned Pretty. I just have duplicate copies of this. I already have a set at home, so I don't need 2 sets. We are now at spot 6, which is also, I think, the final spot I'm going to go to. I have 5 books left. I don't know how full this one is going to be. I'm going to see how much I can fit in there. But if not, I'll just keep them in my car and see if I come across any other little free libraries at another point. I really can't tell from this angle, like where I'm parked, if it's full or empty. So let's go see. That that was the perfect final spot because it was not empty, but definitely not full. The most empty one I've seen. So I got to put all of the last books in there. That was actually so fun. I definitely want to do that more often, and I definitely encourage you guys to do it too if you're just looking for a fun way to unhaul any books that you think could have a better home than your bookshelves. The last thing I wanted to do together is go through some book mail. I have 2 pieces of book mail and I have already opened both of them, but I thought I'd show you anyway. The first book that I received is Ritual by Chloe Elizabeth Wilson. Both of the books I'm about to show you are from Penguin, so thank you so much, Penguin. When I went book shopping the other day, I saw this on one of the tables, so it's already out. I'm very intrigued by this. If any of you guys have read this, or even if you just know a little bit more about it, like please let me know, because I'm a bit confused about it. I'm wondering if it was inspired by the Glossier book that came out recently. I haven't read that, but I heard about it. But the little note that came with it says, "Welcome to Ritual Cosmetica. I wrote this book while working for an Australian cosmetics brand with a reputation for being a bit of a cult. This is a story about power and identity, but it's also a book about girl dinner, Pilates, and the Dyson Airwrap. I hope you choose to describe it as outrageous, bonkers, and or completely wild." Like, is this real? Is it fiction? I'm so confused by it. Is this actually a real woman's story about her own experience working for a company, or has she just like literally written this as a story? I honestly don't know. It does sound interesting. I'm confused. I think it's made up, right? It says it's a literary thriller, so I don't know. I'm intrigued, but yeah, a bit confused. The second one though, very, very excited about it. I lost my mind when I opened this. I was so excited. It arrived at my door. I didn't really think anything of it. Sometimes I collect packages to film unboxings, and sometimes I just kind of open them as they come. And this is one of those ones that I was just opening it as it came. I wasn't expecting anything, so I didn't know what it was. I knew it was from Penguin based on the label, but I opened it and I audibly gasped. I was alone in my house. I literally was like, because I was not expecting to receive this, and I'm just so excited about it. And I will actually show you what the book is, because I'm sure you're all wondering. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is absolutely insane. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. I've read everything she's written, and some of her books are the books that got me back into reading, like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But my favorite books by her are definitely Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones, Malibu Rising, and Carrie Soto. Like, I love those books so much, and I have been waiting for a new release from her for literally years at this point, because I think Carrie Soto came out 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe even earlier. I'm not sure. We've had a few years without a new release from Taylor Jenkins Reid, so it's very, very exciting. This one comes out in June, and all I know is that it's about space, an epic novel set against the backdrop of the 1980s space shuttle program, about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. In the summer of 1980, astrophysics professor Joan Goodwin begins training to be an astronaut at Houston's Johnson Space Center alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates. As the new astronauts prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a passion and a love she never imagined and begins to question everything she believed about her place in the observable universe. Then in December 1984, everything changes in an instant. Interesting. I'm so excited about this, and I can't believe I have this in my hands. I also just think it is such a beautiful ARC copy. I am very, very thankful. So thank you so much, Penguin. Look at the back as well. It says, "We are the stars and the stars are us." I cannot wait to pick this up. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid does such a wonderful job at writing an incredible story that keeps you hooked whilst talking about so much else. She talks about class and gender and race and love and life. Like, she is able to pack so much into her story. So I'm very intrigued to see what I think of this one. But I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and just doing a bunch of bookish things. They are honestly my favorite things to do. I had so much fun taking you guys around with me, doing a bunch of different things. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.